Hello, hello, my lovely Aquas. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Aquas, we have Alithia, the Judge, the Healer, and the Eternal Child. Libra's had the Judge and the Healer too. Aquas. It's been in your reads for a while. Just the idea of the mean girls, right? Being on the wrong side of the fence and picking like a group of people to align yourself with and pass judgment on everybody else who doesn't align with those people. But the reality of the Judge is that like you can't be a good judge and a bad judge part of the time. And I feel like somebody who you were dealing with looked at you like, this is not good judgment. And I think no longer aligning themselves with you, because like how can you be so blind to such poor judgment, you know? Because I feel like the truth of it is that it's a lot more black and white in a way that I feel like you weren't. It was like you were so caught up in the spectrum of I don't know, I just feel like gossip and slander and we're right and they're wrong and this is, I don't know, it's like a political party almost, you know, like pick any version of a political party, they're all jacked, you know what I mean? They all have these extremes that don't make any sense to the reality of the people, you know what I mean? And you can be over here and you can say, oh, I'm, you know, like I'm a pull yourself up by the bootstraps mentality kind of person, or you can be over here on the spectrum of, well, I believe everybody has equal rights. But, you know, the reality of it is that, you know, like you can't make everyone the same, you know, in the land of the liberals, you know, it's just kind of like, well, yes, everyone does have basic human rights that should be taken care of. But also people need to be willing and, you know, to work for those things that they earn. And I think that the balance is in that, you know, like, because the reality of it is that, you know, people can talk about equality, but it's not about equality, it's about equity, and that's very different. And people aren't equal. There are people in this world who are insanely brilliant and can do mathematical equations and write code and do all of these different things, and they're amazing. And they're gonna have skills that somebody who's more of, you know, like a humanitarian and is, you know, working with people and, you know what I mean? Also very amazing. Are they equal in the skills that they bring? No, they're different. And yet, you know, like they're still important. And I feel like you were in a group of people who was like, it's us versus them. And you were dealing with somebody who was like, well, I don't really see how that makes sense. But like, if that's how you want to behave, cool. You know? I don't know why. I was thinking about this earlier, but it just popped back into my brain. I met this person and they shared with me a sentiment that, you know, the story of Cain and Abel, you know, Cain kills Abel. And they posed the argument that Abel was actually, you know, the weak one of the link, and Cain was just taking out the weak link, and it was Abel's fault for being so trusting. And I kind of thought, you know, that's not wrong. It's not right, but it's not wrong. You know what I mean? It's extreme in one direction, but it presents a very logical argument. You know what I mean? And again, I just feel like you were in this like extreme, and there was a logical part of that extreme, and yet it's not right. And therefore, if you want to stand in that extreme, you're going to be acting as a poor judge. And I feel like this person is kind of like, listen, that's poor judgment, and I can't associate myself with that. And then, you know, I feel like, again, it's been in your reads for a while of just this like wanting to go back and repair this relationship. I think seeing that you were practicing poor judgment and wanting to go back and bring healing. And I think just feeling a sense of trepidation, you know, like feeling like you're not sure if you can do it. And you know, honestly, Aquas, there's humility present. there's a sense of humility. And I feel like, I mean, if you're dealing with somebody who's you know, like an extreme zealot for, you know, like, well, like I stand for this community, right? And we'll stick with the political, you know, like I'm with the Republicans and I'm a Trumper and I'm da 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 da, you know, like, okay, whatever, you know, but you start to realize all of the ways that affects other people. You're Biden, you're for these people, and you're anti all of those people. Okay, well, there are a lot of things over here that affect all of these people really negatively too. You know what I mean? And once you understand that, I think that there's this sense of humility that you are approaching this with, because I think that when this person, what they associate you with is an extreme that ultimately lacks logic, whole logic that is more than just an extreme for a group of people. I think that that's going to play in your favor. I don't know. Let's do more clarifiers. I'm sorry, 6 minutes in and 4 cards, but I feel like just telling you that I think that this person will sense that you are approaching this from a place of humility. And I think that humility is probably the one thing that you really need to have, because I think that when they were experiencing things with you, they were experiencing this really aggressive version of you. And if they feel that in your energy, I think they'll shut you out. And I think that you know that they'll shut you out if you approach them aggressively. And so I feel like, again, there's just the sense of trepidation on how it is that you want to move forward to see your way out of this and to heal this relationship. And I think that it comes from just like a recognition that like you need to, I just feel like approach the bench. Is that what they say? Can we approach the bench? You know, I just feel like leading with this, like this sense of just practicing humility. Because I almost want to say, you humiliated this person. And I don't know, maybe you didn't, and if that's not for you, take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody who it does resonate with. But I do feel like there's just this sense of like, this person looked at you, because I think that in practicing this extreme judgment, you set them up somehow to be the bad guy, or they felt set up to be the bad guy. And feeling set up to be the bad guy when you see all of the bad that's coming from this thing that's being protected by this person who you thought you could trust, like that's a sensitive thing that you're dealing with. 5 of Swords, you know, again, just that, like, I think that like they don't feel safe having conversations with you. I almost feel like it's just the sense of like, every time I've tried to talk to you about this in the past, it's just turned into an argument. And I'm so tired of arguing with you. The Moon and the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, again, I just feel like you're really having to just kind of like follow your way through, you know? I mean, the Moon is just kind of that idea of like crawling in the path at night, you know, like staying close to the ground so you can find your way through the path, you know? And I just kind of get that feeling of like, I think that you know this person intimately enough that it's like going through a dark room in a house, right? It's like you've been in this house enough that you know your way around, but like it's dark and you need to kind of like feel the path out, you know, like maybe the furniture's rearranged and you know what I mean? You still know the layout, but the format, but you don't know the layout, you know, just kind of this like, okay, like I know that I need to do this in a very, like, I need to trust that I will see what I need to say next. Because I almost feel the sense of like, if you're too prepared with your speech, that like this, I kind of get the feeling this person feels like all you're going to do is talk at them. And if you're just going to talk at me, then you're still never going to hear me. You're still never going to see me, and I'm still going to be somebody who you can just use as a punching bag to, you know, like look cool with your people. You know, I mean, like that's like, I feel like you're running into some tension and some animosity. If this feels extreme, it doesn't have to be in this extreme of an energy. You can be at lower levels of the energy. Again, these are general reads, but I think that you're really having to try and find your way out of this to bring like a sense of balance and partnership with this person, you know, kind of like bringing it back together again, healing it. But I think you're just, it's like you just got to baby step your way into it. Like you can't be prepared with an answer or a response or a justification or reasoning or any of that, because it's like, you know, when you talk to people and they're not listening to what you're saying, they're just waiting for you to stop talking so they can start talking over you again, because they don't really care what you have to say or what you think. It's just about them. I feel like this person feels like anything that you say to me is just about you, and you already have all of your responses pre-made and ready, prepared to pull out, because it really doesn't matter what I say. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, that you just like, it's almost like this, okay, like I need to just clear my mind, clean my mind, whatever, you know, take a shower, sage yourself, do whatever you need to do, and approach this with a spirit of humility and a clear mind that is receptive to dialogue, and not just a ready-made, I'm going to talk at you, because what you say ultimately doesn't really matter. The Three of Cups and the Knight of Wands. I mean, I do think that this person will be, I think that if they can see this change, because again, I think it's somebody who's very familiar with you, and I think that like they know your energy. They know when you come, how you come, you know what I mean? And so I feel like if you will come to them sincerely, if you will come to them in a place of humiliation, if you will come to them in a place of healing, I think that they'll recognize it, and I think you'll be able to move forward quickly and see your way out of this. I just think that you're afraid, and I think these are all the reasons why. And that's what this read is about today. All right, Aquas. The tear and the vision, yeah. Again, because I kind of get the feeling that it's like you see a life with this person, you know. You know that this person understands, and I just kind of feel like you got super sidetracked, and when you got super sidetracked, you ended up shitting on some people or a person who you really, really loved, and I think somehow they got used as a punching bag, and I think this person is hurt, and I think you know that like if you want to move forward with this person, you have to hold space for them. And maybe you were just trying to, because I feel like this is like an energy that's been present for a while, and I don't think it's because you've been inactive in your attempts of healing. I feel like maybe it's just that you're having to figure it out, right? Because if in your mind, being prepared with everything and going in and having your, you know, like having it all there, like you think that you're doing something right, and this person is like, but I still don't exist in that, you know what I mean? And you're like, well, I'm doing it for you, and they're like, that's great, but I don't have to be, I could not even exist and you would still be doing the exact same thing that you're doing. What do I have to do with any of it? And I think that they have a lot to do with it. Because in the last read, it was like this idea of like this exchange of like, I know that you know what you're doing to me right now, and you're doing it anyways. And like a sense of betrayal. And I think that maybe for some of you all, the reason that you're even able to get out of that extreme stance that you are in is because this person, it's like their voice was in your head, guiding you through this experience and pulling you out on the right side. You know what I mean? And maybe it's just an expression of the fact that it wasn't your voice that got you through. It was your voice that got in the way, but it was their voice that pulled you through. And so, of course, you want to hear what they have to say. Of course, you want to understand more about what they think and how they feel, because that's your guiding light. I love that. I love that, because I feel like the vision, even though the vision feels kind of like removed from the rest of this read, I think that this experience that you've had with this person that you're trying to move past is one that is important to you, because I mean, the vision is long-term goals. It's who you want to build your life with. It's the people that you want around you. You know what I mean? All right, well, Aquas, I love it. I'm sending you all my love. I hope that this goes well for you. I think that it will. I think that you've worked through a lot of different processes and understanding yourself and understanding this person, and you know, understanding how you ended up in this extreme and why it is that you don't want to continue forward in that manner, and how it is that you can overcome that and bring healing to the damage that was done, I think, with a relationship in your life that is very, very important to you. And I think someone that you want to build a future with, however that plays out for you. If this does resonate with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.